What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of the GGBL podcast. We've got week 3 here for you guys today. And, week 3 was I don't know how to really classify it. It was better than week 2. Week 3 had some good games in it. Week 2 I felt like was a little bit lackluster, coming off that high from where opening day was, and we had some pretty solid games. And Nick Margevicius for Nashville got a win over Columbus. Columbus is a tough team. We saw Janil Rivera actually take on Zach Logue, who was throwing a no till the 6th inning, of course, until they relieved their left-handed starter, Zach Logue. So all things considered, it was a pretty solid week of GGBL action. Tonight is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be as long as week 2's video was. Week 2 had a lot of things to cover in that. Had a lot of June call-ups to cover. We wanted to give you guys the information on what players were coming up from the minor leagues. Keep you guys updated on what your teams were doing and even your custom prospects. So this one's going to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit more chill tonight. I don't see it going past 10 o'clock tonight. I'm not really feeling myself today, and I've got a lot of stuff to do as far as other content that I got to pump out here for Friday and over the weekend. So that's what I'm planning on doing. That's what I'm planning on doing, is try to end this thing fairly quickly tonight. We had to start a little bit later. So for Friday, usually Fridays are our live stream days for the GGBL on Twitch, but I can't do that this Friday. I've got a little Halloween party thing that we're doing, so we're going to be hanging out with them. What's your guys' weekend looking like? We got Halloween. Do you guys do Halloween? Is that like, can I ask that in 2021 now? Dia de los Muertos? Like, do you guys do Halloween? Or are you too old now? You know what? I got a funny story about that. So my cousins who are mostly all girls, they're like maybe like 6, 7. Let me do the math here. About 6, 7 years younger than me, right? So maybe even more than that. I would have been like 23 years old, and I was still going out there. I would dressing up. I'd still go out there with them, and yeah, I'd get my freaking candy. I'm not gonna. Nobody knows your age. I know you're not supposed to, but nobody knows your age when you're going in there. You just do it. With the mask and everything. I'm taking my freaking candy. You can bet on that. So I'm anxious to hear if you guys have any. Do you guys take advantage of Halloween? Let me just say that. How about we trim it down? Do you guys take advantage of Halloween? I know I did for a little while, but it's going to be fun. I've got my 2-year-old daughter is going to be dressing up as Minnie. So she's all about Minnie, so she's going to have some fun in our neighborhood here. So let's see. Rico Ramos, what is Wrigley dressing up as? Good question. So I'm supposed to be Mickey Mouse. Eliza's supposed to be Minnie. Wife's supposed to be Donald. 2-month-old supposed to be Daisy. He's got the whole crew. I think he's just going to have to be Goofy. Goofy's a dog, right? Like, that's pretty well established by now. Goofy's a dog. Yeah, pretty sure. Rico Ramos says, I buy my own candy the day after. Smart. Closeout sales. RG, I'm not a big sweets guy personally. Yeah, it's funny. It's a really weird thing, man. It's just people, there's just some people I've met that they just don't do, like, they don't do pop, they don't do sweets, they don't do chocolate, no candy. It's like, how are you alive? Are you real? Let me touch you. Are you real? How about Pluto? He could have been Pluto, yeah, Trico. He could have been Pluto too, yeah. We'd have to paint him yellow. I thought about it too. I was like, I was thinking about maybe questioning my wife. I was like, maybe we need to turn his white yellow and just leave his black. So he'll kind of be like a Pittsburgh Steelers dog or something. I'm not a Steelers guy. Maybe Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm not a Pittsburgh guy in general. Let's leave that. Go Pirates though. Pirates. Back to baseball. All right. So yeah, for this week's GGBL podcast, it's gonna be very laid back, very chillaxed tonight. Like I said, I don't plan on doing this until 10 o'clock, maybe even after 10 o'clock. I don't plan on going that far, but got some things to cover here. I have not simulated the month of June, so you guys are going to be able to see that live and ready to go. So no one can blame me for fudging it. No one can blame me for fudging it. We might have a guest appearance from a patron. Dalton Jets would be his name, and he is a big Oklahoma Hawks fan. So he's got some resting interest in the Oklahoma Hawks and a couple custom prospects on that team. But for the most part, today's episode, we're just going to cover, the regular things. Who won in the fantasy challenge? Which I'm waiting to send out the forms to you guys at 1 because I want it to be all in one form versus like 3 separate forms that I got to look through and sift through and make prospects from them. I'm not going to do that. I want to get them all in one form. So I know it's been about a month. It's been about 3 weeks since we had the week 1 winners, but it just makes it easier on me and more organized, and I feel like it gets done faster that way. So that's how we're going to run it. But here we are, still in June. That's where we left off, June 19th. And again, I have not simulated all the way through the end of June simply because I wanted you guys to see this, number 1. And number 2, kind of what I was leading into before, Friday, I'm going to be busy. So I can't do the month of July on Friday, which we normally stream GGBL on Friday on Twitch. We're going to be moving all that to Saturday at noon o'clock. That's when we're going to do this. We're going to do a marathon of all GGBL action in July. We're going to cover the first 3 weeks of games, find matchups that make sense, that are kind of cool, and then we'll do the All-Star game, and we'll do the Home Run Derby, and then we'll finish out the rest of July with a little couple extra games of gameplay. If there's any sort of team matchups that kind of are cool, that make sense, and that's kind of what we'll do for that. We'll close off Saturday's stream. Probably, I'm hoping, if we start at noon and we can do 8 hours of just straight streaming, we could get to 8 o'clock and call it a night. I think that'd be kind of fun to just hang out like that. But I do have some news for you guys. So I am asking for your feedback on where you guys want to see the All-Star game this year for GGBL. Last year we had it at Renway Park. Renway Park. Renway Park and Renway Field. Renway Fark. Oh, let's meme it. Let's meme it to death now. Renway Fark. Nice. And go figure, we got the Richmond logo here too. Renway Bark. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, so Renway Park was where we had the All-Star game last time. So I have a Google form that I'd like to send you guys. Right here, and you can fill this baby out. And just really what we're looking at here is what stadium do you want it to be at? We've got the Home Run Derby to do. We got the All-Star game to do. And your feedback will be appreciated. So I've linked it in the live chat. I'll post it for those of you that are just coming by that are watching the stream after it's finished up. I'll have it in the pinned comment as well as the description so you guys can vote on that. So really, no contest this week. I might, on the streams, on the Twitch streams, I might come up with a contest for the All-Star festivities, because you're only really covering the first 3 weeks of July, and it doesn't, I don't know. And plus I don't know what matchups I want to show anyway. So, we've got 2 weeks left of June. I mean, who knows? Atlanta could get on a huge winning streak and they might be relevant again. And their matchups here in July might actually mean something. Might actually carry some weight. So I just didn't want to create a contest form for this week. We're going to skip that. If I do get you guys in the streams, that's kind of like a bonus little reward for Saturday. If you hang out and you're there, then I might throw in an all-star festivity one. Who's going to win the Home Run Derby? Who's going to win the All-Star game? We'll have some props in there. That'll be kind of cool. So let's go ahead and simulate the month of June and see where everybody stacks up. Now, Philadelphia, 22-42. Is there really a point on showing them? No. So let's go to the Richmond Good Boys. We haven't seen them in a long time. Didn't have any gameplay for them for last week. So let's go ahead and sim. We got Boston, 3 games set against Colorado, 3 games against San Diego, all on the road, by the way, and then Philadelphia. So let's go ahead and simulate here. We're going to auto all that out. Yeah, auto all that out. We lose a series there, and it looks like we're playing 500. So we went 3 and 4. 3 and 4 to finish June. So we are now under 500 baseball, 36 and 37. That sucks. And we're effectively 12 and a half games out of the NL East. The Blue Sox just continue to play ridiculously good baseball, guys. They are 24 games above 500, 49 and 25. Get a little standings update here for you guys. Copperhead's still in first place. The Heat are 3.5 back. Copperheads have won 8 straight games. Now, if you guys remember in the stream, I was talking about how the Copperheads they just seem like a very complete team this year. You know what I mean? They just seem like a very solid team. They know how to utilize their pitching staff and their bullpen. They know like what moves to make, right? The Heat really impressing me so far. So the first half of the season, we still got the month of July to go. Still a lot of baseball left to be played. But the Heat really seeming like they have kind of turned that corner a little bit from where they were last season. Last season was bad. Last season was real bad for them. But they totally turned the page and totally turned the corner, which is nice to see. The Knights are 8 and 2. They're 22 and 12 in their division in the NL West. So the Grizzlies kind of, they're on a 4-game losing streak. They're kind of dropping the ball a little bit, but they do have a very big lead on the Coyotes here. So 8.5 games back from first, 8 games ahead of the Coyotes. So they've got some wiggle room there. I would assume that right now they're playing like a wild card team. So we'll see what that wild card looks like. We've got the Grizzlies. There you go. So Grizzlies, Heat are in the mix, 4.5 ahead of the Maroons. So like right now, everything seems pretty safe. Like that's a pretty decent lead for the month of July, right? I mean, anything can still happen. It's the GGBL, okay? So these guys can totally, it's kind of like the XBA a little bit. Teams can go on huge runs. Teams can go on huge downswings. And who knows, the Moonshots might be back in it at some point too. So take a look at the American League or the All-Stars League. You've got the Pizzazz still continuing to play good baseball, 43 and 32. 6 games ahead of the Boston Revolution, Pittsburgh Hammers, Swamp Monsters, Mallards. 2 teams that have really, really let a lot of fans down, man. These 2 teams were at the top of the class last season, and now they've just flunked out. It's not looking good for them. Let's go to the Central, which is really surprising to me. This is a surprising development here. The Indiana Rams, 41 and 31. They're on a 7-game winning streak. That's huge. So they're June call-ups with Peanuts McLovin, the custom player, Tyler Freeman as well, an infielder, moving Asuaje to the outfield. Those 2 moves right there have really bolstered that offense by the looks of it. I'm actually really anxious to go look at the Indiana Rams, what they've been doing, with their offense. So we'll look at the calendar, we'll see what they're doing, but the Cardinals kind of letting this thing slip a little bit because the Rams have been so hot. 1.5 games up, 1.5 games back, I should say. But the Jacks playing under 500, that's surprising to me. Maples down bad. The Breeze have really, really struggled, man, this season. I don't know what is going on with them. Their pitching staff is actually the worst in the AL Central at 357. That's crazy to me. They were one of the best. They were one of the best last season. Firebirds still hanging on. I was a believer. After last week. Not so much the beginning of the year, but the first 2 months. But now I'm a believer in the Firebirds, man. They are still in the lead here. 266 runs against them. That's got to be the best in the entire GGBL. Has to be. Let's take a look. 266. Do you guys see any numbers lower than 266? The Heat at 265, Grizzlies 277, Defenders 269, Copperheads 253. So the Copperheads actually have the best runs against them in the league, but man almighty. Don't don't sleep on the Firebirds anymore. This is a legit team, and I'm ready to call them that. Spirit have vaulted. I mean, look at the Nuggets right now. The last time they got 8-2. Emeralds dropping all the way down. They're now 500, 37-37. Not looking good there with the Emeralds, but kind of like what Corey Karhoff is saying here in the chat, AL West is crazy tight, and all 5 teams still have a chance. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Single-digit games back, and all teams, when you look at it, you know deep down the Nuggets and the Emeralds are probably more talented. The Firebirds are a legit team. The Spirit, do they really belong? The Hawks, are they going to somehow make a run and kind of upset some people in there in all of this standing and all this mess? A lot of variables to consider here when you're talking about this. So, anything can happen, and I think he's right on that. I think he's right on the money. Wild card, we've got Spirit, Cardinals, Nuggets, Emeralds. So the Emeralds, even though at 500, I know there's some Emeralds fans out there, but even though they're at 500 right now, 3.5 back, still a lot of room left to wiggle here to try to vault up there and get back into playoff contention. So I did want to check out the Rams real quick and see what they were doing on their offensive side of things. So they winning a lot of close games. 3-2, 6-2, 5-4, 5-2, 4-2, 6-0, 4-3. So their bullpen is really helping them out. And it's looking like that's been the name of the game. I think that one of my moderators, Diabolist, he created a model, preseason model after the year 2 preview. Started knocking some things out there, looked at each team's roster, and he came out with this little model that said Indiana actually has an underrated pitching staff. Looks like they do. Looks like they do. They're second in pitching, actually. So they're ranked second. So that's the strength. That's the strong suit of this team. Let's take a look at that pitching rotation here. You got Syndergaard 214, Jeremiah Port 402, Duke Grayson, custom player, needs to be pitching a little bit better. Parker Bridwell, Matt Allen, Bowden Francis 4.8. Did I read that right? Yeah, 4.8, 4.4. Pena 2.6, 105. Garrett, the back end though, guys, the back end. Amir Garrett, Chaz Rowe, and Devin Williams. Pretty solid numbers for your rotation. So, guys, welcome. 15. We boosted up to 15. That's nice. All right, cool. Chat time. Diabolist, PSJB, JoJo, what's up, old man? Who you calling old man? Keneal's in the house. RG, I wonder if he's still here. Elias Markham is in here. Soda. RG says, what the hell is Pop? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Okay. Were you guys able to vote in the... If you're just joining, we have voting is now open for the GGBL All-Star Game for year 2. So I'm going to link that one more time here for you guys to be able to fill that out. So we talked about the standings update, gave you guys a little bit of a look there. Let's move over to, while you guys are filling that out and kind of getting the feel back with the stream, getting yourself all settled in here for the next half hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at that fantasy spreadsheet here and talk about who are our winners for last week's contest. PSJB, congratulations, sir. You came in first place, although that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You guys all in the gold have got a prospect for this season, so for year 2. And again, just a reminder, if you're joining again, I will be sending out those forms or those submission forms for you guys to fill out at a later date. So probably in the next couple weeks here, I'm going to compile you all into one group. Makes it easier to create prospects from there. But congratulations to PSJB, Sequestral, Klump, Manus, and Dalton Jet. You guys were the top 5 in this week. Aiton Letterman, you missed it by 1. That's what sucks. But we will go ahead and take a look at those responses. So as you guys know, Portland ended up winning that game. Phoenix as well. Here's your top 5, by the way. We'll highlight those. So that's your top 5 here, so we can follow along with their picks. So Klump and Manus actually picked Portland, which was smart. The field, I guess, had... Oops, the field had Miami there. I think I don't remember who I picked exactly. I think I picked Miami. But Phoenix gets a win over LA. That was a tough one. That was a really tough one because you had Janelle Rivera out there on the mound, and custom prospect bias would almost lead you to the LA side of things. But Phoenix gets the win at home. Las Vegas was a sneaky little pick. The reason I went with Las Vegas was personally because Seattle they're just a sim team. They just don't really do much in gameplay. Houston, all you guys picked Houston, which was a solid pick over Indiana. One guy picked Nashville. I think that was Sequestral, so he actually did well there. Colorado beat up on the swing. And how many strikeouts? You guys all got the strikeouts right for Janelle Rivera. He's that knuckleballer, control, break type guy. Not a lot of velocity there. 4 strikeouts against a contact hitting team like Phoenix. Not a lot of pop at Phoenix, but they do like to put the ball in play. Kenneth Alexander Jr., nobody said yes. I think that's what won you guys this, honestly, because anybody who picked no had the advantage there. So good on you guys. And then Nick Margevicius, this is what separated PSJB from the pack, is that he picked Margevicius to earn 1 earned run, or to allow 1 earned run. So that's what happened. I think he went like 5 or 6 innings with only 1 run. So he did well. But the common answer was 2 to 3. Probably a safe bet there. I mean, 1 or less, 3 or more, those were risky. But 2 to 3 was kind of split in the middle. And, playing it safe might have cost you guys. For tiebreakers, nobody got the tiebreaker here because the amount of home runs that were hit between Colorado and New Orleans, the total was 9. There were 9 home runs in that freaking game. So it's nuts. So if you want to see a lot of home runs in Home Run Derby, Colorado might be your pick. So Coyotes Park might be your pick for the All-Star game. But there's your final score. You had 7-6-6-6. Yeah, 6-6-6. And then we actually have this one here. Did Aiton win one here? He had 6. Hold on a second. I think we might have a little bit of a surprise here, guys. Nope, that's Dalton Jet right there. Okay. All right, we're good. We got our guys here. So let's see. Is that 5? That is a 5. Yep. So we got our 5 there. Cool. All right. Well, congratulations, guys. I'll be sending out that link to you guys in the next couple weeks, plus the week 2 and week 1 winners. You guys will all be on that form as well. So. Again, no contest this week because it is All-Star. It is All-Star stream. And again, if you guys are just joining me here tonight, we will cover on Twitch on Saturday at noon. We're going to cover all of the first 2 weeks of July. We'll find some cool matchups in there that make sense. Then maybe at 6, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturday night, we'll actually do the All-Star game. And we might be able to fit in some of those AAA, AA prospect games in there as well. Futures game. We might be able to do that. I think that would be kind of cool to do that and see what, MLB The Show has decided as your futures. You might see some CPU-generated guys in there that were drafted. You might see your custom prospects that are down in AAA, AA. I think we should probably be able to do that. I know a lot of people might want to look at that and have some fun with that. But with that, I'm wondering if we have our guest here. We actually do not. So Dalton is not here quite yet. So I think we might have to skip that for tonight, guys. So let's get to the chat here. Colorado All-Star Games is PSJB. It's not like he has any sort of ties to Colorado or anything. So I won again. Aiton was so close. Does it show All-Star voting? Yes, we can go look at that for sure. Let's take a look at that All-Star voting. Syndergaard leading the way with 361. Ryan Weathers. Ryan Weathers is sneaky. Very sneaky. Seems to always pitch well. I think last season he was doing well as... might have read that wrong then. He might have done well in the first half, and then in the second half he was bad. Because I remember Ryan Weathers for some reason. Like he was pitching well. Max Fried at a 2.59. Casey Mize. So Alexei Shevchuk, where you at? I'm the number 1 guy. Casey Mize is going to make the All-Star team. Andrew Wantz, 2.43. Ruby De La Rosa. Patrick Sandoval. Garrett Cole is 3-4. His team's not winning in many games. Sixto, Covey, McCollus, Kervin Castro, Gibson, Morajan, Alcantara. Having a better season, man. Alcantara's having a better year. You guys remember last season he was 3-14 with a 4.6. The strikeouts to walk, though, that's a kind of a concern there. 66 and 46. But seems like a very good, solid pitching staff here for the American League. We'll go position by position. We won't do league by league. The way everybody's getting some love here. But Shane Bieber, 181.9. Margevicius, 11-1. The guy continues just dominate as a 73 overall, guys. A 73 overall pitcher is hanging in there with a guy like Shane Bieber. In my opinion, he's got to be up there for the Cy Young in the NL. Has to be. You got Marco here at 2.16 with a .85 whip. Then you got Tony Gonsolin, guys. So between the 1-2 punch here for San Diego, 7-3, 4-3, Gonsolin and Gonzalez. This is a really tough pitching staff for San Diego. Sean Reed-Foley, Tyler Glasnow coming over from the major leagues. He's doing all right. Should be doing a little bit better, in my opinion. You see guys like this that are in the 2s and the low 1s, and then you got Glasnow who's just like ballooning at 3.47. In fact, he's the only guy with a 3 until you get to Tomoyuki Sagano for LA. And remember, he had the blow-up game as well in opening day. So kind of interesting there to look at that. But we have some pretty solid pitching here going on. We got Gerald Cotton at a 72 overall. He's pitching solid. Seth Corey. He's got the most strikeouts. Glasnow with 124. Look at this. This is the difference, though. You see this. The MLB players are totally outclassing everybody else with the strikeouts. Like, Glasnow's almost double where everybody else is. The most of the people. And Shane Bieber with 131. I mean, it's the MLB talent compared to the other guys. It's just totally different, man. Just totally different. But there's your little update. Brady Singer at 6-5. Now we're starting to get down there a little bit. So let's go to relief pitching for the AL. We'll just do back and forth, AL, NL. Trevor May stepping in for Tommy Hunter, I believe it was. Tommy Hunter was the pizzazz closer. And I want to see how many saves he actually has so far this season. He has 26 saves. And last season he had 32. So those two guys kind of bounced back and forth between each other, but he's close to matching what he had last year, which they felt like they could move on from Tommy Hunter and get similar production with Trevor May. And it seems like he's doing that. Sub-1 whip, or sub-1 ERA, 101 whip. And then Tyler Lyons here, of course. Cannot mention Tyler Lyons without the Phoenix Firebirds. 19 Ks. Not a lot of strikeouts, but the saves number 23. Nutso. Devin Williams. 2-3-1-3. 25 saves. Had 41 last season for Indiana. Godley. Dayton. Figueroa. Shane Green. Good little group there. NL Austin Pruitt. 181. Anybody surprising me? But we have Piasfiu. 18 strikeouts. He's not striking out anybody, but 22 saves for him. And we got Jimenez there, Pedro Baez, Dunton. Mark Dunton, 18-year-old C potential player. He's a CPU generated guy. He's a guy they drafted. Has to be. I've never heard of this dude. I didn't make him, so if that's worth anything. Now, what's interesting here with New York is they're kind of doing this again, it looks like. They're kind of doing this again. You got Wingenter is the closer in the position as closer. Not in the depth chart, though. His position is closer, but not in the depth chart. So that's why he's not getting any saves here. But he's getting a lot of votes for kind of being a setup guy, which is interesting. But you got Tom Key here. This is an interesting guy for me. 68A for Las Vegas, .77 whip, only 10 1/3 innings, and he's getting so much love. He must have some good stuff here. Not really. 90, 82, 75. It's not enough for me, but who am I to judge? Blake Parker, 26 saves for him, .86, .89. He's been shut down. Karinchak, 286. Grant Gavin. I like seeing that from Grant Gavin, guys. He actually blew up in the playoffs. It's really kind of nice to see him kind of bounce back. Neo Zamora, looks like he's pitching all right. 22 Ks, only 25 and 2/3, 11 holds. Cool. Like it. Position-wise, let's get into the positional guys. We got Yermin Mercedes and Joey Bart, 2 NL East catchers, leading the way for the National League. Any custom players to look at? We got Brody Jordan, 221. He's actually having a better season this year. So he's matched his RBI total. He's getting there with the walks. Batting average at 220. It's about getting ready to double on the doubles. So yeah, Brody Jordan having a good season this year. Percy Burnside, let's see how he's doing. He's getting some nice progression there. 60 games through 60 games. He only played 81 last season, so he's starting to get a little bit more nod. A little bit. So that's nice to see from him. Ricky Ribbit at 177. He's going to grow. He's got some growing pains left to do, but he'll be all right. He's got 7 home runs. It's not bad for a catcher, especially a young catcher like that, so he's fine. Wilson Contreras, 276. I think that's a solid number for a catcher. Randy Florentino, the first-year guy, the rookie now. He's a rookie. Stepping right in for Jose Trevino, and he's doing all right. He's doing all right. 289, 5 homers. That's a nice little bright spot for New York, for certain. Austin Wells at 262. Anybody that's hitting over 300? Jackson Reitz with 322. I don't think he's going to make the All-Star team, though. We're only looking at maybe the top 3 guys. But first baseman for NL, you got Matt Olson, 17 bombs. He's literally leading the way, leading the charge. 335 average. He's a beast in this GGBL. Paxton Burnside, 239, 11 homers. Justin Bohr. Morrison's an interesting cat. 158 in GGBL play. 2020 obviously in the MLB. 120. And he's taken to this starting role with Nashville to heart. 295, 13 homers. He's done an all-star type of season. Satchel Michaels, 260. G-Man Choi, 286. So he's providing a little bit of offense here for St. Louis. Let's go to the AL. We got Kenneth Whoa! How are they 500 right now? What? He's hitting 360, double digits in stolen bases. 17 bombs, 52 ribbies. It's got to be their pitching. Frankie Freeman with 291. Nate Lowe. That's huge, though, man. That's huge for Seattle. But he's up to an 84 overall now. So, yeah, that makes no sense. He has in the last month, he has vaulted his play, but Seattle is now on the downswing. Crazy to me. Nate Lowe, 277, 22. Bobby Bradley playing well. Jerko, 9 for 35, 301. So between both these guys for Seattle, they've got offense. I think it's their pitching staff that's just really screwing them up right now. Mike Price, custom player Bo Calloway, 273. Han Berger, 229. 9 and 34. Matt Justice. So we got some good custom prospects in here, but they need to up on the average a little bit. Altman with 252. This is concerning, though. Remember we were looking at Alexander King in the last episode? 200 at bats, 185. So something's wrong with Alexander King. But guys, remember this pick? Rowdy Tellez. I was like, this guy is gonna just wreck pitching in the GGBL. He needs to start. 342, 76 at bats. He's not making the All-Star team, but man, you just wish a guy like that would get more playing time. Tommy La Stella has been a beast in GGBL play. 20 homers, 59 ribbies, and 350. Tommy La Stella. It's nuts to me, man. It's nuts to me. So he didn't play. He came over from the majors, and now he's playing here in the GGBL, and he's He's just wreaking havoc, man. Keston Hiura, 24, 331. 331 for Keston Hiura. That's huge. Luis Arias with 5, and nobody's even close. Look at the power from second base compared to everyone else on the list. It's out of this world right now. So Listella and Hiura, definitely guys you want to bring to that lineup. They've got to be at least consideration for the home run derby. Got to be. D. Strange Gordon. How many stolen bases does he have? 14. A lot of regression across the way, but you kind of knew what you were getting into with that if you're San Francisco. DEG has 2 home runs on the year. So the first one we ever saw this season was against John Lester. So I don't know who he hit it against the other time, but man, 258, 20 stolen bases. DEG is a nice little player, man. I don't think he gets enough custom love from the community out there. I think people need to start paying attention to DEG. Let's see who else we got. Chase Jackson, custom player, 318. Ison Diaz, 272. Just getting a little update there. He's not a custom, but you guys get the idea. Let's take a look at American League. Got Nick Solak, 298. No one's hitting above 300, though, in the AL. Xavier Edwards, 246. Must have a lot of stolen bases, no? 8. Charles LeBlanc. Nico. Peanuts starting to drive up that. I mean, look at that. 329 for Peanuts. He's now getting the starting job. 76 ABs. And then James Chris, custom player, 276, guys. You like to see that from him, too. So he's having a good little season. AL third base, Bregman, Jung, Holt, Bohm, J.D. Davis, Nolan Jones, Drew Mendoza, Jumbo at 257, Torque, 14 and 207. I feel like this could easily happen in real life. As a Tigers guy, despite the Blue Jays hat, just being a Tigers guy, I think if Spencer got up there at some point, which I think it might happen next year, I feel like this is what happened. This is what would happen. Major League pitching to AAA is totally different. He'd probably start hitting a lot of home runs, but that batting average would be a little less than desired for at least his rookie year. But Lobo, 229, DJ Taylor, 274. It's good little numbers there. Let's take a look at NL. You guys are laughing at Hamburger. Tom Benton says, "Hey, what's up, dude? What's going on?" Dalton Jett, I didn't know I was supposed to make an appearance this week. What do you mean? We just talked about it. Brasel with 20 home runs, and no one's really even close. Unless Donaldson. You throw Donaldson in there, 15. But 330 for Joey Wendell just continues to wreck pitchers, man. Kyle Seager. The amount of votes, look at third base votes compared to, second base votes. There's a little bit of they're trying to reward a lot of these guys that are trying to come over here. But Andrew Donovan, Will Till, 215 for Will Till. You take this from Till. He plays some decent defense. Got a lot of speed back there. 13 stolen bases. Good little group there. Let's go NL. Did we look at third base American? Yeah, we did. All right, shortstop American. Francisco Lindor, and then Ethan Letterman, 14, 54, 12, 278. He's a solid player. Ethan Letterman is a very all-around solid player. It's unfortunate, though, that he has to be stuck on a last-place team, and it's kind of sucky for him because he's actually having a better season. Statistically, it looks like he's on average going to produce a better season than he did last year, where the team was in first place. So, I mean, you look at Ethan Letterman, he's obviously progressing. He's having a really good season. He should make the All-Star team, but yeah, it's something's up over there with Chicago. But Nelson De La Cruz, another custom, 289. Let's go to NL shortstops. You got Trevor Story, who's actually playing second base. Tim Anderson, 1145. Luigi Mazza. Yeah, custom prospect bias, baby. 16 homers for Mazza, 48 ribbies, 294. He should totally make the team. Should definitely make the team. Now, this is surprising to me because Denzel Good, as another custom, he doesn't really produce in gameplay, but he's done enough. 276, 12, double digits in stolen bases. Xavier Hawkins is a rookie custom. Seiko Ichiman, 214. What did he do last year? 245 with 25 dingers. He's on a little bit of a regression this year. Maybe he'll pick it back up in the second half. We'll have to find out. But Darius Wilson, solid. He finally got that extra base hit, that home run, so which I like. 16 doubles, no triples. He's got some speed too. I'm surprised. No triples for D. Will. Joe Beck, patron prospect, coming over this season, 286. Getting a lot of playing time out in Dallas. And we'll go out here to left field. So we'll look real quick at the outfielders. We won't spend a lot more time on this, but Willie Calhoun, 321. Again, just the offense for Seattle. They have the pieces. They got the components. It's got to be the pitching that's really struggling with them. But Jesse Winker, 333. Arozarena, 290. Brent Rooker, surprising there, 247 and 9. Getting some love. Benintendi. McCutcheon, Adam Brett Walker. That's surprising to me. Sitting 291 this year. Love to see that. Let's go to NL. Christian Yelich, David Dahl, Mountcastle, Tim LeCastro with the 1 home run. Hyun-Soo Kim. So look at this. They have 2 outfielders. Hyun-Soo Kim getting some love and LeCastro getting some love. Yairo Munoz, Kellenic, Josho, Darnell Sweeney. Okay. Center fielders, Bellinger, Nimmo. Nimmo's hitting 323. That's nice. Marte, Senzel, Hastley, Javon Brown, Buddy Kidd. Buddy Kidd's having a really surprising year, I think. As a 71, I would not have anticipated him to do this well. And here he is. So center field for AL, 310 for Bandito. Little bit of a cold streak, but I think he was sitting around like 340 last month. So, 229 at-bats, doing really well at 310, 14 stolen. Yeah, he's good. He's going to be a good player for a long, long time. Aiden Oliver, another custom guy, leading the way with 15 homers, 45. He should easily make the team. Dalton Varsho hitting 305. That's surprising too, by the way. Ian Happ at 284. Let's go to right field. Soto at 415. This dude is going to end the season at 400. Do you want to make that a prop bet? If I tell you guys this. I'll tell you what. If Juan Soto at the All-Star break, if we get into the All-Star game and he's still hitting above 400, I will open up the props on the weekly challenge and I will give you guys a form that says, will Juan Soto hit to end the season with a 400 batting average or above? Yes or no? And if you guys get it right, I give you all a custom prospect. Because I think this is just too crazy to me. Through 3 months, we're getting ready to get into the 4th month of the season, and he's got 415. I think at least with Bryce Harper, he was around 350, which is so much of a sample size difference. You go from 350, you're talking 350 compared to 415. Let me do the math real quick, or somebody in the chat so we don't delay the stream. Somebody do the math real quick. 248 at bats, right? He's got 103 hits. 103 divided by 248 is a 415 batting average. So he would have to go 103. Let's do 100 at bats. 348. No, that's too much. 103 divided by like 50 at bats. 298. 103 divided by 298. If he goes hitless in his next 50 at bats, if he goes hitless in his next 50 at bats, his batting average goes from 415 to 345. If he goes hitless in his next 50, which he's not gonna do. So I don't know. I think it's a good little prop bet. What do you guys think in the chat here? Do you guys think that, what would be your pick? Do you think that Soto would finish the year with over 400 batting average? Something to think about. Cunha here at 327, Conforto 299, Castellanos. Look at the top 3. You see any movement there? Look, LA Knights, man. Acuna, Conforto, Castellanos. Michael Ruth getting some love there too at 278. And we'll go to AL. And Bryce Harper having a little bit of a letdown, 292. I say that lightly because the guy went crazy. Won the Triple Crown last season, 351, 48 homers, 40 doubles. Had a career season in the GGBL. Mookie Betts having a little bit of a bounce back year from 268 down to 289. So he's doing all right. I don't think he's going to hit as many home runs as he did last year, though. Let me see last year. He had 32, 14 now. He's got to hit 18 home runs from in July to the second half. And I don't know. He might get there. I'm going to say like 28. 28 for Mookie. Carlson, Judge hitting 230. It's so crazy to me that you look at Aaron Judge based on all these other players, right? You got Gallo hitting 288. He's still a good hitter. He should be a good hitter in GGBL play, but he just doesn't produce with the batting average at least. But you got Angela Ruth here, rookie, custom, 296. And then that is your all-star voting. That's your all-star voting. Do you guys want to see any custom prospects? Anybody out there that wants to see their custom statistics? Because I mean, we've covered everything that I really wanted to cover. We've seen the standings. We got a little bit of a statistical update there. Nothing really else to cover other than like maybe stadium assignments, so you guys can see that. What's up, Gio? We did show Ejaz. So you might have to scroll a little bit. But there's actually no harm in it. There's no harm in showing it for you. Fairly easy to do. I gotcha. Ejaz. 108, 120. 25 innings pitched. Gordon Rosens. 208. 1 homer. 16 stolen bags. And 11 ribbies. D. Will. Darius Wilson, 265, 1 homer, 25 ribs, 16 doubles, 350 OBP. Wilson's doing well. Ronnie Dominguez from Portlandia. 239, 176 at bats though. So yeah, he's kind of playing behind Noose right now, which makes sense. I mean, you could argue that Dominguez might need to start playing at some point. He's a much better contact hitter, got similar defense, similar speed. There's really no reason, Sheldon Noose has to play over Dominguez. So, Sports Gaming Josh, Mikey White. Yes, let's take a look at that, because Mikey White. Ooh, so Josh Adams is actually better than he is. I think Mikey White is going down a little bit. I think he was in the 300s. So now he's starting to feel the pressure there a little bit. The age at 27 and the C potential starting to maybe play a factor. Josh Adams might have to start getting some more time in there, I think. And the good thing with Josh Adams in Colorado too, by the way, Sports Gaming Josh, you don't really need to make a lot of contact with the ball in order to get it out. So if he's got 38, 34, but that power number, like he could get a hold of one and start getting those attributes up as far as power goes. So could happen. Let's see. KJ Ferris, how's my boy Cheltenham? Other way. Cheltenham is doing very well. For a guy with 21 control, he is doing very, very well. 2-0, 21 in the third, 15 Ks, 6 walks, 295. He is not a starter though. He's in the relief role. He's in the bullpen. 2 holds right now. I think it's smart. I think it's smart to use a youngster like this. You know, as a lefty guy, he can be a lefty specialist. I think they're picking his spots so he can have the success that he wants to end out the year. I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. Aiden Oliver. I believe Aiden Oliver was doing really well. He might make the All-Star team this year. Yeah, I think he's going to. 1545, 251. Yeah, I think he was a shoe-in to make the All-Star game. You know what? I think out of the custom players that might be a little underrated that for year one, like the patron prospect guys from year one, I think that Aiden Oliver might be a guy that gets kind of overlooked a little bit. I think he's going to be really good, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about him, including myself. But we need to. We need to start taking notice of him. Decent fielder. 251. Yeah, I think we need to start doing that. Reagan Landish. I watched a little test sim of Reagan Landish. He's just good, man. He's just good. I love his. He's got that bulldog mentality. He loves to challenge guys with that 99 velo. Good player, man. 373. Having a little bit of a down season, though, compared to last year. He's giving up more home runs. Might have had some success this season, that season in 2021, his rookie year, and then now trying to just overdo it a little bit. You know what I mean? You go from 217 to 373 with more home runs given up. It's either A, the opposing hitters figured you out, or it's B, you're trying to do too much. You're trying to get even better than those statistics rather than just being yourself. So might be something going on with Reagan, but either way, he's pitching well. Seiko Ichiman. I think when we looked at him, he was not doing as good as he was. Oh, shoot. Yeah, Seiko, I mean, he's getting progression, which you're going to with an A. You're going to get the progression. But 214 from 245, he wasn't going to be known as a contact guy. Like, you can see the power, 73-51. He's going to be more that power type of stroke. 24 doubles, 24 homers, or 25 homers. Yeah, it's going to kind of be all or nothing for this shortstop, really. Diabolus, seems like a lot of customers are having a sophomore slump. It does a little bit. It definitely does. I feel that too. My AA defenders catcher. Was Kenny Ferris. There you go. Limited starts, but 279, 5 ribbies, 2 steals. He's chipping in, But when you're trying to outplay a guy like Yorman Rodriguez, who's good sample at 333 as well, it's going to be tough. But it's kind of cool, you get to see some of your guys and kind of grind it out. Eventually, maybe, they'll get here. They'll get to the GGBL level. Corey Karhoff, you don't know what that is. I mean, if you look at their lineup, nothing's changed. I mean, maybe you could explain it away that Joey Votto's getting a little less feared than what he was last year. They didn't lose anybody in their lineup. As far as I remember, they didn't necessarily lose a big bat in their lineup. It's pretty much the same thing as we saw last season. So, you go from a guy that hit 310 with almost the 3,100 clip that everybody likes to look for. 80 walks. Like he's on average right now to have less strikeouts. So he's cut his strikeouts down by maybe like 20%. That's like what the projection would be. If he gets it, well, maybe the math's wrong on that, but you go from 93, you've got what, like 3 more months left of the season. He'd probably get to about 60, 65, 70 Ks That's a 20. It's a 20 quantity difference right there. So he's cut down on the strikeouts. What's the BABIP? Do they have BABIP in here? Batting average on balls in play? They don't. I wish they did have BABIP in here. Batting average on contact. You know, like would that have been a hit? Right? Is that BABIP? I think it was BABIP. Yeah, batting average on balls in play. Measures how often a ball in play goes for a hit. A ball that is in play when the plate appearance ends in something else. Yeah, so like what I'm trying to figure out is he getting robbed? You know, is defense like robbing him right now? He's an extreme pull hitter. I'm wondering because he is a feared hitter. I'm starting to wonder if teams are putting the shift on him. Yes, as a right-handed hitter, I'm wondering if teams are putting the shift on him on the left side of the infield. Like literally taking your second baseman and your shortstop and shifting them over, kind of like what you do with the lefties, but I wonder if they're doing it with a righty. Because that is the only reason that I can explain that away. You get a ton of these players that are 72, B, MLB service. By the way, is that something? Hold on a second. Hold up a second. Why is his MLB service 7 years? Ooh. Hold up. We might have found something, guys. Oh, no. Is that it? That's got to be it. I wonder if Alexander King is glitching out. MLB service 7 years. I don't even know how that's possible. So at 23, he's 23, but his MLB service is 7, which would have made him 16 years old. So the game's probably freaking out saying, well, you're a 7-year pro, you should be regressing. So it's almost like forced regressing this player down. I got to get that fixed because that if I just leave it alone, I mean that directly impacts his team, that directly impacts this custom player, so I can't have that. I'll probably end up like taking over this guy and just renaming him and stuff. Yeah, because that's what we're gonna have to do. Which sucks because I'm gonna have to keep like a log. I have to keep a screenshot or something of his statistics here for year 1 so that we don't lose it. But yeah, so like when you guys see GGBL action going forward, Alexander King is going to probably, hit his first home run, hit his first single, hit his first. Not frick, man, because you can't go back and edit his career stats either and say like, oh, he had 27.97. That sucks. 7-year pro. That's not intentional at all. I'm wondering if it happened to other people. Buck Pearson's in there. I'm gonna have to look at that too. What about Percy? 1. Paxton? 1. Dominguez? 1. Everybody else seems like they're fine. Donovan? 1. Mazza? 0.08. Good. What are some other prospects that are struggling, guys? Can you think of any? I'm starting to wonder if that's something that's got to get fixed. What about Seiko? 1. You know what, guys? You know what? Let me save this. I think I might have found the problem. I think I downloaded. I think I downloaded Alexander King. Hold on. No. Maybe I made him. Maybe I screwed up. Maybe I screwed up, guys. Maybe I'm the one who messed up that. No. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I must have taken over a player that was an actual minor leaguer and just renamed him and changed some things around, and he's a seven-year pro. My boy Reagan hasn't been salting the earth with Seattle's tears. I love how you make it so poetic. He's a 1. It could have been one or two things. It was either that when I made Alexander King into the prospect that he was, I either took over an actual minor leaguer with 7 years of experience, or I'm typing in the search name wrong and I actually did get him from player DNA or like from the vault. It can be so many different variables, but either way I got to fix it, and we'll be good for starting the streams back up. But we'll be seeing some goofy stuff with statistics with King and whatnot, but I got to get that fixed because that's obviously MLB The Show. I know works like that. Like the service time, if you start getting up to a certain level, like you start regressing at a certain age, you start like hitting the wall. Like you can see it with even Joey Votto. Like you can see it with Joey Votto here. Like, he's really hitting the regression hard. 38, 67 and dropping, 14 years. Like even if he's producing, even if he's doing well at 267, but he's still like, the game is literally saying, nope, it's time. It's time. We're done. So, but yeah, I'll get that fixed up. So, guys, I don't see anything else that we really need to cover in this week's podcast. I think I've covered it all. We've gotten our statistics updates. We've gotten our All-Star voting update. Kind of talked to you guys about the schedule going forward. So, again, just as a reminder, Friday night, so this Friday, I'm going to not be able to get on Twitch to stream GGBL action. So we're pushing all that over to Saturday at noon. That's when we'll start, is noon on Saturday. And we'll do a marathon. We'll do a whole entire marathon of the month of July. We'll get a couple games in here that are, it's kind of some cool matchups. And then we'll move into the All-Star festivities. And then after that All-Star stuff's all done, I'm going to go ahead and simulate all the way until July 31st, which is the GGBL trade day. So it's kind of like the XBA. We got one day that you can make trades. And I'll have a Google form for you guys for that as well, so you guys can vote on some of the trade propositions and whatnot. If we have time on Saturday, and it's going to be a loaded day, but if we have time and there's some cool matchups near the bottom, like the last week of July, kind of setting us up for the trade day. If there's guys that might be on the bubble a little bit, teams that might be on the bubble, not sure what they want to do, if they got a fork in the road, do we sell or do we buy? I might show some of those games to kind of get some traction there. And then before you know it, we're right into trade day. So again, I'll make sure that on YouTube, so this upcoming Monday, we're going to cover everything that we did on Saturday in a highlight reel form. I should have to you guys all the trade propositions there in a form on Monday on YouTube. So that way you guys can vote on that stuff again. And if you want to, another way for you guys to get involved. And then before you know it, we're in August. And we're almost done with year number 2. So that's that is what our schedule is going to look like here. Yeah, sports game. Good thing someone said they wanted to see Alexander. Karhoff says, wait, how did King win Rookie of the Year? That's a good point too. What? So maybe I'm fine then. Maybe I didn't do anything with him. Right? I mean, so I created him. He was a 1-year pro. Maybe he's the glitch. Maybe he's a glitch. 7 years? 7 years MLB service, but he's a rookie. That's nuts, man. I don't know. I don't really have the answer, but yeah, good catch there, Corey. Good catch. And we'll close this off, by the way, since we're here at Rookie of the Year. So you got Mazza, Ruth, and Davis in the NL. I totally agree with this, that Mazza is your leader in this. And then Aiden Oliver. It's a tough battle. It's a real tough battle between Ramirez and Oliver, but I'd kind of lean towards Oliver. He's got a couple more home runs. It depends on what you value, right? Either value guys that hit a lot of home runs, or you value guys that get on base, right? So, but Bendito's trying to uphold the mantle for AL East rookies. King won it last year. Ramirez could win it this year. Yeah, so I tried. I did. I tried to go in and change it, and it wouldn't let you. So I don't know if you can do it through like CPU roster control. Is that something you can do? Maybe. I tried to do it from the other. No, I can only remove, export. Can't import. So the 8 of you that are here, or anybody that watches the video, now you kind of understand why I can't like physically take your prospects from the vault and put them into the save file. I wish they had that feature. I literally have to rename people. Like this guy, like Darren Smiley, would be a guy that that I would rename. If you got drafted by Washington, I'd have to take this guy over and turn him into your custom, because I can't import your guys. Even if you made them, I couldn't import them. But yeah, you can't even edit from here. Player movement, that's just free agent swaps, team swaps. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Manage roster, import player, but you can't import. You can't even export MLB players. You can only export custom guys. Yeah, I wish they could fix that. I wish in 2022. I wish in 22's game that they would fix that, but it sucks. Yeah, and so Rico, if you even wanted to go to like just roster and edit general, you can't even service years. You just can't do it. So that sucks. But last look at the standings here, guys. Kind of prep you for getting ready for Saturday streams, not Fridays, Saturday streams on Twitch. We have a situation where the Pizzazz are in first, Rams are in first, Firebirds first, Spirit and Cardinals are tied for the wild card there. Nuggets and Emeralds behind in a close race. Blue Sox, good boys, man. 12.5 games. We're under 500, and you know what? The Blue Sox are beating up on the division. 27-11 in the division. They're just better. They're just better than everybody else. Copperheads in the lead, Knights in the lead, and then the NL wild card looks like Grizzlies, Heat, Maroons, good boys, Coyotes, Swing, Hatters, Pioneers. It's a log jam in there. So, so for you guys, for the 7 people that are here, do you want to pick a game? How about you guys pick a game? I will say that in Discord, we are going to see Eric Swanson against Akito Raydon. So this is for patrons only. So this is for patrons only. So I will say that the next games, the games that are available for you guys to pick tonight, let's pick the next game. Let's pick the leadoff game for Saturday's stream at noon. We could either watch any of these games here, or we can move on to the next day, which would be July 4th, which would be kind of a good day to do it, right? We can start it off. We can start off the Saturday stream with a good game, July 4th holiday. Well, let's just take a look at July 3rd here real quick and see if you guys, see anything that you like. But We haven't seen Boston in a little while. Maybe it might be nice to kind of see the new look Alexander King. That would be an interesting one. Las Vegas, Minnesota is interesting to me too. You got Dylan Covey and Marquez. You could even get a user game. You could get Richmond and Miami. I'd be up for that. I'd be up for playing that. You could get Indiana and Seattle again. We had this game in opening day. Get Syndergaard and Derek Rodriguez. Both teams are, so Seattle's really trying to find themselves. Indiana's in first place right now. Portland, Nashville, two teams that are, Portland's kind of in that race, try to keep themselves relevant. Nashville's chasing Houston right now in the Central. Oklahoma, San Diego, that would actually be an interesting one, guys. Oklahoma, San Diego. We haven't seen Oklahoma in a couple weeks, and we have not seen San Diego in gameplay at all yet. You got Montgomery against Marco. Should be a solid game. You got St. Louis, Colorado. Elias says, how do I get added to the patron Discord? I'm already a patron. I will send you, I have your contact. I will send you the link. Or wait, are you on Discord, Elias? If you're on Discord already, DM me, or just tag me in any of the channels, and then I'll have your profile right there, and I'll give you the role. You have to have a patron role in order to be able to access the private channels in there. But do you guys have any options here? I'm not getting much feedback. That's interesting. It's because nobody cares. Ugh. Ugh. That hurts. That hurts. Stab me. Nobody cares, Goldie. Nobody cares. Just pick one. Who cares? I'll leave it open for a couple minutes if you guys want to see, like... Sports Game Josh is either user game or San Diego. Alright, that's good feedback. I had to think about it. Exotic is cool. Yo, what's up? July 4th games. Let's move over to July 4th. So you got Indiana, Washington. So new series popping up here. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Phoenix. You got Rico Ramos there. Rico. San Diego, Colorado. So not a ton of games. This is really surprising. Why would the GGBL do this? They're trying to compete with the MLB, I guess, or stay away from the MLB. We've only got 6 games on tap for July 4th. Interesting. But you got Hunter Green. This might be a good one. San Francisco, New Orleans. That's an interesting matchup. Bumgarner against Lodolo. San Diego, Colorado. Was that a matchup they already played? No, they were playing Oklahoma. San Diego, Colorado is an interesting one, too. And it's in Colorado. So we might be able to see San Diego actually start hitting some homers in that. Having some good offense. It's a pretty solid game. Especially, you know what? Especially if Colorado ends up winning the All-Star vote. That might be a good kind of prep to the Home Run Derby. Exotic is cool. How can I make it with YouTube? You're asking the wrong guy. Let's just say that. You're asking the wrong dude. I'm not even close. Not even close to being the guy you want to ask that question to. I'm still trying to figure that out too, man. If you find out, you let me know. But advice, if you're looking for some advice, I would say just be yourself. There's going to be people that you'll watch, that you'll look up to, other streamers, other content creators, and try to be like them. And the whole point of YouTube is that you want to try to be who you are, because you can't fake that. You know what I mean? You can't fake that. The people that are going to be watching you will be able to see like right through it. You know, you might be looking into the camera, or you might be doing your voiceovers and your commentary, but people will be able to see like right through it. And they'll know if you're legit or if you're not, and if you're just kind of faking it till you make it. And eventually, you don't want to be doing that for 4, 5, 6, 10 years of being this person you're not. You're not going to be happy doing it. You're just going to get burnt out. You're going to get frustrated with it. You're not going to be who you are. So that would be my number one thing that I would say. But as far as like content strategy, advice, technical stuff, I think a better source might be better for you than myself. Rico Ramos, I like Michigan versus Phoenix and San Diego versus Colorado. Michigan versus Phoenix. Of course you would. Rico Ramos says he likes Rico Ramos. No, that'd be a good one, though. Honestly, that'd be a good one. I feel like this is a dumb question to ask, but Rico Ramos Jr. is your prospect Rico Ramos? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm kind of leaning towards showing San Diego, either on the 3rd with the Marco Gonzalez match up there, the two lefties. That would be a good one because we haven't seen Oklahoma yet. But then I'm also leaning towards San Diego, Colorado. I'd probably lean more towards that one, though. San Diego, Colorado, honestly. So, as the leadoff game. We might end up showing Michigan, Phoenix as well, but, as the leadoff game, this might be it. So, all right, guys. Well, I said that I didn't want to go over an hour. We're about an hour 18 at this point for this video, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, supporting this series. I know sometimes in baseball, a lot of, from month to month, we're not really learning too much about each team. We're just, showing gameplay to show gameplay. But, you don't want to just zoom past games, and you don't want to zoom past months, because then you might miss some storylines that might be happening too. So before you know it, we'll be in the playoffs, and year 2 will be in the books. It takes us a week to get through a single month of GGBL action. So literally, we're going to get July done on Saturday and Monday, and then we'll do August next week. So in 2 weeks, 2 weeks time, we're going to be done with year 2. You got September, August, those will be the next 2 weeks, and then we're done. And we'll be in the playoffs by then. So it's moving quickly, and I think that I've got a really good feel for how the draft went, the off season went, the free agency, the period of time, the phases that we went through to get the off season all checked off and make sure every team was set. You're trying to manage 40 man rosters for each team, for all 30 teams as one guy. So it's a long process, but I think it's been good. It's been smooth, and I would like to do. I'll say this, Star Wars Josh. I will say this because I'm sure that people out there are probably asking and wondering that same question. So how many years is this going to go for? I personally like to make these things go as long as they possibly can, because we do want to see what these custom players do. We want to see kind of what the league is going to turn into. That's really why I started this too. I didn't want to start the league and say like, well, you're only here for your custom players. No, I kind of wanted to see what would happen. How would the league turn out? Like, we're watching in this GGBL, we're not just watching the teams grow, we're watching the league grow. That's really kind of the overall premise of this little project in this series is what's the league going to look like? All-star games, voting. What teams have had all-star game? Have they hosted it, right? How many teams have won championships? What teams have won the championships? Things like that. But like really seriously, like building a history across the league. And I'm just gonna say it. If MLB 22 has year-to-year saves, then this is gonna keep going. Because we've got an ability to just take this file and move it over to the next game. That would be a godsend, because then I don't have to do any editing at all. I don't have to do any custom prospect remakes, getting the MLB players out of the league again, making sure that all the rosters are lined up, recreating all the teams. Wouldn't have to do that. Literally take the cross save and put it over to 22. That would be perfect. But that's just speculation. It's all rumor. Nobody knows for sure if that's going to happen, but that'd be pretty fun. That'd be pretty cool. Even if 22 doesn't have it, though, I still want to keep doing this. So I might have to pull back on it a little bit. If 22 doesn't have it, I gotta do what's best for the channel as well, and my time as a creator, which is very limited as it is. So I would like to say that this would probably, I want to get like 8 seasons done It's pretty ambitious. I want to try to get 8 seasons done, and then we'll do, simulation for like 9, 10, 11, and then we'll see how everything shapes up. But 8 seasons, kind of where I want to go with it. We might have to kind of speed some things up in year 3, year 4 to get there, but I think it's doable. I think 8 seasons is doable. But yeah, if 22 doesn't have cross save, I'm still going to do it, but I will pull back on the uploads just so I can focus on 22 content, whether that's another franchise mode for a real team, maybe another created team, or just doing even getting into some Diamond Dynasty maybe, because that's what everybody loves, and nobody loves franchise anymore. So we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Leave a like if you like this thing, and I will see you over on Twitch at noon on Saturday, and then back over here on YouTube on Monday for the highlights of everything that we saw on Twitch for the month of July. And again, we will be doing the All-Star festivities around 5 or 6 o'clock ish, and then we'll even get the trade props tallied up as well. So that is it. So, guys, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching, and I'm signing off. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night and the rest of your week if I don't talk to you. As always, thank you for watching, and peace.